Good afternoon, Bev at Planetcrochet. I've done part of the body, as you can see, and there's a few reasons for that. One is it is exactly the same as the head for 8 rounds. Magic circle. If you don't know how to do that, there is a short, a couple of videos back, go into my shorts on my channel and it will be there, the magic circle. Do that first. If you've never done one before, have a little practice, make sure you've got that down, and then you can carry on with the rest of the project. Like I say, where that needle is there, I don't know if you can see, I'm videoing in a different place in the house, so it's slightly different. It's really sunny on the front, so I apologise for that. But there's the needle. So 8 rounds, exactly the same as the head. You want 48 stitches. You start with 6, you increase 6 every round. Round 9 to 18 is a simple one. It's quite boring, laborious. Don't forget to move your stitch marker every time you go around and pop it in the first stitch. You will do 10 rounds of 1 double crochet in every stitch around. So you've got 48 stitches, 10 rows, and then we're going to decrease. And how you do a decrease, if you've done the head, you know what a decrease is. I'm going to show you again. And you're working in 6s. That's how you start at the beginning. 6 double crochet, 1 double crochet in 6 stitches, and a decrease. And what you do for decrease, you make 2 stitches become 1. And how you do it, you go to do a double crochet, but you go in the front loop only. There is 2 loops, not this one on the hook already, but per stitch there's 2 little loops. You're going in the front one only. Yarn over and pull it up, not too tight. Same again in the next stitch, pull your yarn through, and you've got 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3. And you do this around 6 double crochet and decrease. Do that all the way around and I'll meet you at the end. There you go, done. You know you've got the right amount of stitches when you finish on what the pattern says, which is a decrease. Next 2 rounds is 1 double crochet in each stitch around. I'll do mine and I'll come back. There you go, done the 2 rounds of 1 stitch in each stitch, double crochet that is. Anyway, the patterns will say you have to do 1 round of decrease, 2 rounds of a double crochet in each stitch. And you do that right until 18 stitches. Anyway, I'm going to finish this off camera and I'm going to come back. I'm going to go what the pattern says to round 31, 18 stitches, and I'm going to show you an alternative so you've got 1 piece, head and body together. Done that. There's the body. Doesn't look much, does it? There's the body. There's the head. As you can see from the pattern, just by looking at it, the head has 18 stitches when you're finished, and then it says fasten off, which you would do the same as you've done for the head. Because I said for the head leave a long tail, you don't need to leave such a long tail for the body, because you can weave it in and then use the tail from the head and sew them together. That would be if you had the same amount of stitches on each item. But for some reason, I think they've missed off the last round for the body to match the head stitching. You could do it. You would just have to weave through a few stitches, and the scarf, you know, there's a scarf for the teddy. I'll show you. It would cover any discrepancy, and you just have to make sure it was snug so stuffing didn't come out. Anyway, I know you've done the head, and you've fastened off. But now what I'm going to do is suggest what do you want to do. I'm going to carry on, but at this point it says fasten off. Then you could make all the other parts, but I'm going to do the body bits in the next video. So if you've got your pattern, follow the instructions as it says, but as you go through the arms and legs, stuff as you go. So do quite a ways and then keep stuffing as you're going. Anyway, because according, let me just look at my notes. The only problem I had was the scarf and the snout. But the snout's the last thing. So the arms and the legs and the tail, ears exactly the same. You've already done what the head and body, so it's just following your pattern. I will do them on here and help you out as you go along. I'm going to, as I said, continue with the body. I'm not going to sew mine on. And it's not because of that discrepancy, but I've done things like this before and I just like how it finishes it. So what I'm going to do is, because I like the circumference of the 18 stitches and I think the 12 is too thin for the neck, I'm going to leave the body as it is. What I want to do or need to do is stuff it. And you want it stuffed enough to make it plump. That's not so. Just put the head to one side. Now get your stuffing and it will be clumped up. I've just pulled mine all out. I've just pulled it all out. And what you want to do is get little bits at a time. Don't be tempted to shove a load in. And I tease mine apart because it's been transported for quite a while more probably, and it's compacted together. You want it nice and fluffy. You want your teddy to feel nice. And again, stitch marker or whatever you've got, your safety pin, pop it in the loop because we're not fastening off. I'm not fastening off. If you have fastened off, do as I did on the head. But I'm not going to. So there's the opening. It's a little tricky, but once you've got going, it's not too bad. And I use the back of my hook, or I'm going to show you. I haven't got my scissors I normally use, but I've got embroidery scissors. Hold on a minute. Let me just get some of that in. What I do, and I do it on maybe arms and legs more, but I suggest you do something with blunt first. Don't do it with something sharp. Now I've got these spare scissors. They're not too pointy on the end. Pop it like that, like so. Get the end of the scissors, and usually you can just kind of fold it and it kind of goes in, or use your little pinky. Your little pinky is quite good, and you want it in the bottom. And do this, I'm going to do it off camera, but just keep taking your stuff in, pull it apart into little bits and just put it in little bits. I've learnt my lesson by not shoving it in, you know, as in big lumps I mean, because it makes either the cushion or the teddy bear feel lumpy. So there you go. So keep doing that with your body. I'll come back because I don't want to stuff it right to the top, but I want it to feel nice on the body. Okay, so you're not having to fight to push it right down. I'll see you in a minute. Okey-doke, I've stuffed it. If it starts bulging out, say one side, just give it a little tease in your hands, because obviously you want a cylindrical shape. And I haven't stuffed it right to the top. See? Put a little bit more in. Can't see it because it's on this white cloth. And you can just use your pinky, push it down the sides, and that's what I do. Because I like to have it away from the stitches. Don't want it getting in the way of the stitches. Doesn't matter all that if it does a little bit, but you don't want to be fighting. Now, there you go, it looks like a vase. And what I will be doing is, just then, I'll do another round of 1 stitch in each. You'll have got your stitch marker in the first, take it out. I put it in the front because I just know where it is. Anyway, take your stitch marker out and put 1 double crochet in each of your stitches around your stitch marker, and then I'll meet you back there. You finish that round. The next round, 2 double crochet, 1 in each stitch, and then you want to increase. This is an increase round. 1, 2. You put 2 stitches in 1 stitch. 1 double crochet, it's a little fiddly. 2 double crochet, and then the next stitch is increase. Do that to your stitch marker and I'll meet you at the end. That round finished. Keep stuffing as you go. 1 double crochet in the first 3 stitches. Don't forget to pop your stitch marker back in the first one. I'll do that for visual. And then increase. I'll do it off camera and I'll come back at the end. There you go, that's the end of that round. And you have 24 stitches. You just tick that off. And what you want to do is, you want to keep increasing every round by 1. Obviously that's times 6. Until you've got 54 stitches in the round. What that will mean is, you've got your increase at the end here, and then count 1, 2, 3, and there's your increase there. That's why sometimes I know if I don't have my stitch marker in, I know where I am, because I can see that. But if you're new to crochet, it just looks all the same. So work your rounds now. So you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no, 5 more rounds, sorry. I'm looking at a number, that's why I said it. You want 5 more rounds. The next round, you will do 1, 2, 3, 4, increase. Or you can increase 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, and go all the way around again. So there's 4 stitches between your increase. Next one, you've got 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll do mine off camera and then we'll come back. For your next round, it's 1 double crochet in every stitch. And then I will meet you back at your stitch marker. Your next round, take your stitch marker out, is an increase. You want 1 double crochet, pop the stitch marker back in, 1 double crochet in 9 stitches, and then increase. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. But I've done 9. I'm just going to pop 1 more in the last one. And then do that all the way around, and I'll meet you back at your stitch marker. Now, I've done that round. You know you've done right when you've ended with a increase. We want to work in the round continuously, just going round and round and round. Do that for about 13 rounds. Bye for now. Good morning. I've done all the up the side of the head stitches. That was 1 stitch in each stitch. At the end of this round you should have 66 in all. You want, for this next round, 9 double crochet. And then a decrease. Now to decrease, like you've done before, put your hook in the front loop only, grab your yarn and pull it through. Go into the next stitch, the same, grab your yarn and pull up a loop. 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through. Not too tight. I'll do it again. 9 double crochet. And then a decrease. Do that all the way around to your stitch marker and I'll meet you there. There you go. Finish that round. You know you've done the right amount of stitches. You've ended on a decrease. Next round, put 1 double crochet in each stitch around. I'll do it off camera and I'll meet you at the stitch marker. Now every round until we get to the top to 6 stitches is going to be decreasing like we've done before. It's similar to your increasing, but you're going the other way. You want to do, don't forget your stitch marker, pop it back in. You want 8 double crochet. Two, 4, 6, 8, and then decrease as we've done before. Not too tight. And then again 8 double crochet and decrease all the way around. And do the next one, 7 decrease, 6 decrease. Do that all the way. I'm going to do it off camera. I'll go to about 3 and then I'll come back and then we can, I'll just show you what it looks like. So I'll do the decreasing to about 3 double crochet with a decrease, and then I'll come back because there's a couple of more rounds, but I'll do mine off camera and I'll catch you at the end. There you go. I've done up to 3 double crochet decrease. I've sometimes alternated them, so I've done the decrease first, then the stitches, or the double crochet, then the decrease. Don't matter how you do it, as long as you've got the same amount all the way around. And now you need to stuff his head because it's a bit wobbly. Now you know how you stuffed the body. Keep popping your stuffing in, as I said, so tease it apart so it's nice and soft, because it's come in a lump in the packet and transportation. So pop it in, and then just to make sure the neck, because you don't want to have a nice stiff body and a stiff head and then it kind of just, you know, moves. You want it kind of stiff all the way through, how you would if you'd have done them separate. And while the head's not as stuffed as it can be, you can always just tease a bit of stuffing through to the body. Excuse me. And do that. I'll do mine off camera and you stuff yours, and then we'll continue. There you go. So you don't want his head wibbly wobbling, so I stuffed down the neck a bit. And obviously if you want it a bit tighter when you've put the scarf on, that's fine, as long as you've got that stability in its neck. And now you want to decrease all the way to 6 stitches, and then you can close the top. But I've only got this bit of stuffing left. There's a bit left. Now you want your arms and your legs, not the ears, and the muzzle stuffed. It doesn't tell you this in the pattern. You're stuffing them a little ways, not a lot. And same with the arms. Ears or worked in the round and flat. And the muzzle, you want some for the muzzle. Now before I go on, well, I'll finish it, but If you think you want more stuffing in your head, go ahead and do so. Do you know, I've just realised I've got it in the head, haven't I? Right, I'll do this off camera. Silly me, forgot I'd shown you how to do the head in part 1, have I not? And then I have done an alternate head and body bit. And I forgot I'd put some stuffing in the head that I'd shown you how to do. Alright, so I'll just put that to the side because we will need that for the arms and legs. So yes, we do have enough stuffing. So I can stuff a little bit more. But I'm not going to do it now because I want to do the next round. So do each round and then stuff a little bit more. Because when it gets to 6 stitches, it's really hard. And like I said before, I use something blunt, pencil, pen, anything like that, to poke through little holes and just gently do it and tease it around. But if you do this more now, tease it to the sides, because you can manipulate the head like this with your hands, the shape, if you want it more. But make sure that neck is stable. And so your head teddy is not over time, if you're handling it, it's going to wibble wobble with the head. So make sure there's enough stuffing. Silly me, fancy forgetting. Right, so I'll do the next round, which is 2 double crochet and a decrease all the way around, and I'll come back to your stitch marker. Don't forget to put your stitch marker back in the first stitch. There you go, 18 stitches left. You're going to do the next round, 1 double crochet, decrease around, you'll have 12. Keep stuffing as you go. It's stood up, I'm not holding that. Just keep teasing your yarn, stuffing, and especially at these last bits, because you want to keep that nice round shape. If you put too much in, just use a little pinky as well. If you put too much of a bulk in, because I can see that's a little bit dimple there, you want it similar all the way around, you will have a bulge. So you want to just tease it in with your pinky. I find that's best. And then you can keep teasing with your hands as well, because that's stable. The head, I stuffed it quite firmly. So later, when I've done this next round, what I'm going to do is just do this and then do that. Still make sure the neck is solid, so you haven't got a broken headed teddy. And then you can just put the last little bit in on the last round, and it is tight, so you want a blunt instrument or end of your hook. Anyway, I'll do it off camera and I'll come back to finish off. Now you're going to do 1 more round and then fasten off. You have 12 stitches after you've done 1 double crochet and your decrease. You want to do decrease times 6 around, and then the hole can be closed up. It does look different when you look at your part 1, if you've done it already. It does look slightly different on the top. Alternative, I thought about this as I was doing it, you can start at the top if you prefer the look of the top, and go down the bottom. If you would like that done, let me know. I'll have to do it with different material because I'm not taking this apart, but I will do that if you want me to do it. If I get enough people inquiring to start at the top and go to the bottom, I'll do that. Arms, legs, muzzle, ears, exactly the same. Also, if you've made this, you'll need to buy yourself some more yarn as well. But sometimes it looks better that way than this way, you know, when it's finished. It's up to you. Just let me know in the comments. But anyway, put that to the side. Decrease times 6. I'm not going to put any more yarn in yet because I feel it feels great, mine already. But if yours doesn't, do the last round. I'll come back and you'll see how tiny it is. And when you fasten off, leave yourself a good length of tail, and I'll show you why. Okie dokie, finished. Now, do not think you can't get any more stuffing in it, because you can. Now I'm using my pointy embroidery scissors. I've got the stitch on the stitch marker, and I've just popped a little bit more in. I'll drop those and I'll show you with some blunt ones. You can do the same thing, but you will need to just tease your, this was in the head, so I need to just tease it a little bit, make it a bit more fluffy. And you will be needing to do a small amount at a time to do this. And what you need to do is, with your, you can have fastened off like the head if you wish, but leave yourself a good length of tail to sew round and round, and you'll see that in a minute. Or if you've got a stitch marker or a safety pin, put that in. I hold that usually and I pull it a little bit. I put a bit over the hole and start poking it in the hole. You learn to do this as you go along. So do it with your, the reason I say don't try not to use something sharp, because I would hate for you to open your scissors or something and then you damage your stitching, what you've already done. And then just gather it. I'm going to use my pointed because it's not doing much for me as those blunted ones. And you can just turn your little head around and just gather it in, and you kind of push it a little ways in different directions. Also, I should have mentioned, as you're going along and your hole gets narrower, you may catch a bit of stuffing. That's okay, that's fine. It's your first time, so hey, you've done good to get this far. Also, when you've done your teddy, I'd like to see your makes. That would be absolutely great, and I could put a little montage kind of thing on my Instagram of people that's done it. That'd be cool. Because you see things on Instagram and you don't know if it's true, whether people have really made a funny looking item, you know, teddy of some sort from a pattern, or they've just done it on purpose, you're not sure. And just keep doing little bits until your head feels absolutely fine in your hands, because you're going to make a face, his muzzle and his two ears, but you want it to be plump enough when you sew on. And I've done this in the past when I've done these kind of things. I've done them for my mum. And I've not put enough stuff in him because I've been scared of de-shaping the stitching. But as I've gone along, I've realised you need to make sure it's good and firm, but not overstuffed. So sometimes you just have to be patient. Crochet is all about patience anyway. I don't know about knitting. And just feel around where you want to put the stuffing. Anyway, I'm going to do this off camera. I think I've got enough actually now. Look, I opened my scissors. I could have cut, because these are sharp, I could have cut my stitches. And then just gently push it down, away from the opening, because you're going to manipulate. You see, I could put a little bit more in, which I'll do. That feels good. And there you go. So when you've finished doing your manipulation and your stuffing, You don't have to measure it, but I would give yourself more than the other little tails, about 10" or a little bit more. Give it a snip, and then I'll show you how I finish off at the top. There you go, I've stuffed it enough. You've got your loop on your hook, going to your next, this is to fasten off, going to your next stitch, what would have been the first. Yarn over, pull the yarn through, and then pull through the loop on your hook. Yarn over, pull, after you've given it a little snip like I said, and then you want your needle, and we're just going to make a few stitches around the top. Not everybody does this, but I like to make sure this is not going to come undone. Okay, so first off I go through the top stitches, just weaving in and out. Gently pull so it's closed up. That's why I say if you want a video from the top to the bottom, I can do that as well. And then I just weave gently in the direction of the stitch. So you see how there's a line there and then there's one there. Just follow things like that. And why I do it is you can't stop some natural holes happening on your work. So what I'm doing is, I don't know if other crocheters do it, but I do this on my key rings because sometimes cotton makes the holes look even bigger. Don't know why, it's just the material no doubt. And then just follow the way the lines are already on your work. So I went around and followed that line there. What it does, it can fill in a hole, but it also is catching your thread, you know, your end, and you don't want that to come out. Try not to catch the stuff in. And you want to weave as much of this in as you can. Don't pull too tight. You see, I haven't pulled tight because you will distort the shape you've already made at the top. And it's weaving in your end as you go. I haven't got a pattern, but you could make a flower or something. You know, if you wanted this to be a girl teddy bear, you can make a flower and put a nice flower. I can do that. I can do a video. I have made flowers myself before. So I'm just going to go back up. Keep turning your teddy head. You can go underneath as far as you like, but just don't pull too tight. And sometimes across the top, this is the top, I'll go back in the top, go a little ways, and you can pull it a little bit harder so it pulls there, so it's not as much of a point. But you can manipulate your teddy as well when you've finished weaving in. Just manipulate the head and it'll stay in that shape. But yeah, wherever you go, just don't pull too tight. And keep weaving until the end is almost gone. And then what I do is I want to take it from the top and I'll come out the back further down. So it's a little bit tricky. Just keep your hook and poke it through a natural hole if you can, not through the yarn itself. So just keep teasing, there's a hole. When you do it, you see how it's pulled? the top here, can you watch? See? Pull it. And the trick to do that with is pull your needle out, find where you've pulled in, pull it up. So it was there, that one there. And it's all about how it looks as well, but you want it secure. Thread your needle again, follow a stitch down, go back up, go through a natural hole. So you've already manipulated that one, and you see you can pull that in and make it. That's how you can make facial expressions, I believe, by putting stitches in. You pull it a little bit tight and it pulls the cheeks in and things like that. Just pull it out and just keep doing that till you've got rid of this. So sometimes you may have to put your needle in first. Don't go a little as much ways. Right, and then thread it while it's in the body part, don't matter which one it is, but this is the head. Let me just, this is fiddly. And then again through a natural hole. You can pull it a little tight so it actually pulls the yarn out. Go back to where you've pulled it and just pull it up, and it'll do that. Now if you've got a tail left, don't worry about it. Take your hook, go through a natural hole in your work, somewhere near where it is, poke it in and just gently tease it in and pull your hook out. But you always put, if you're putting your hook in, use a natural hole that's already in the work. There you go. Like I said, you can just tease it. And there you go. The body and head together. I'll say it again, if you want it doing the other way, let me know and I'll do a video on that if I get enough people wanting it to be done. But I hope you enjoyed this tweak, if you like, for the pattern. And then you can make the part 3, which is the arms and the legs, snout and the ears, depending how long they take, because I didn't time them when I did them myself on with the other yarn. I just did them to see what the pattern wrote up like, you know, doing it. I didn't time myself. Like I say, the snout, they say only do 6 rounds. You need more because otherwise it doesn't stand out like it shows on the pattern. I'll just show you. You see how his little nose sticks out of the head? Well, what they've asked me to do, which I have done, it would only be to say where his nose is there, so it's laying flat on its face. So somebody's forgotten to put maybe more rounds on, printing it, writing it, I don't know. And like I say, the end says just sew all pieces together and embroider eyes, nose and mouth, which obviously with you all commenting and asking, there's a lot of you that's not done it before. There you go. Thank you for watching. I will see you in part 3 for the legs, arms, snout and the ears. Anyway, I'll catch you in part 3. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.